Hi, my name is Damien Wills and welcome to GoFly Online. Today we're at the Queensland Air Museum. We're going to be looking at the AP3C Lockheed Orion, which is situated behind me, and we're going to be interviewing a few of the volunteers that actually helped put this Orion together and transport it from Sunshine Coast to Caloundra Aerodrome.
Hi, my name's Tony Johnston. I flew the original P3B version of the Orion in the early 80s from about 1981 to 1983.
My name's Pete Scavell. I was a flight engineer in these aircraft and did all of my training on this very aircraft in early 80s.
Hi, my name is Chris Bewley. I was a ground engineer for 8 years on the P3Cs. Hi, I'm David. This was the first aircraft I ever worked on way back in 1972.
Hi, I'm Ian McLaughlin. This is the first aircraft I ever worked on.
We're now sitting in the cockpit of the AP3 Orion with Peter, who was a flight engineer on the Orion. Thank you, Peter, for being interviewed today.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Yeah.
If you don't mind just telling us about yourself and how you got to become an engineer on the Orion.
Yeah, I joined the Air Force in 1975 and my first posting was to Edinburgh where these aircraft were based, and I worked on them as an engine fitter and did that for 6 years. And then an opening came up to be a flight engineer on the aircraft. So you do about 6 months, 8 months training, and then you get promoted and then actually fly in them instead of fix them. It's really good. So the flight engineer takes care of all of the pre-flights of systems and in-flight emergencies and malfunctions in coordination with the pilots. Basically, and because of the type and nature of the aircraft, with the switches and that to fiddle and the systems that are on it, you need the third man. I think the longest I ever did was about 14 hours. Wow. And that was on a search and rescue for somebody that was lost out in the ocean, which we did a lot of. Yeah, and we used to shut down 2 engines, outboard engines, to prolong our time on task. Yeah, so to increase our chances of finding the poor people.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. We're all over 65, so so it was pretty hard to take it all apart. So we had to take the wings off, the undercarriage, all of the flight controls, the tail section back, which is called the empennage, that had to come off. And so all that was left basically was the tube, and that was loaded onto a low-loader truck and driven down here, and then all the rest of the piece on other trucks. And then it was all put here like a big jigsaw puzzle. We had to put it back together again, and we only finished about 2-3 months ago.
Wow.
Finishing it all off.
Yes.
It's a huge task.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My name's Tony Johnston. I was on pilot's course in the Air Force in 1980-81, and my first posting was to 11 Squadron to fly the earlier version of this, the P3B Orion. So had a tour there and quite enjoyed it. Fantastic. And just tell us about how what was it like to fly the aircraft? Quite nice. It's handled very well, particularly at high speed. We'd go up to around 400 knots, sometimes look at 100 feet over the water as part of some of the tactics. So that's not a regime of flight where you want an aeroplane that's not easy to control. So we could fly in and do some fairly advanced manoeuvring pretty easily. In my era, we tended to do mainly ASW, anti-submarine warfare training or trips, usually with our Navy and some of the Orion class submarines. So we'd be training, we'd go out all hours of the night and day, particularly during exercises, basically chasing submarines and honing the tactics. We also did search and rescue and surveillance. We operated out of Butterworth in Malaysia, where we did a lot of intelligence gathering on various countries' ships and what they were doing. And that involved like an extension of just the basic anti-submarine warfare skills. Since then, particularly this aircraft, they've expanded quite a bit in terms of operating over land, and the capability with this Australian version that was updated was far more significant than what the original P3B had. So their role expanded considerably. But we stuck mainly to the pure anti-submarine warfare and coastal surveillance type roles.
Well, thanks so much, Tony, for joining us today. Pleasure. And that's been a fascinating story, and yeah, appreciate it, your time.
My pleasure.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today on GoFly Online. I hope you learned a lot about the Orion. I certainly did. Remember to check out our other videos on our platform or on our YouTube channel. See you next time.